Hey, 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 everybody. It's your girl, Rich Ant, and welcome back to another speed video that's pretty much a previous live video from Twitch. I know it's been a couple of days, and I have a lot of videos to record edit and record, but I'm just finding the time to do it because I've been trying to create a lot of content as far as actual art. So, yeah. I got for my birthday some really great things. One, I want to thank everyone who bought something from out of my shop and who sent donations and who just went to my Amazon wish list and picked up a few things. It's public. So I got this from one of my good internet friends who I write my story with. We do a lot of collaborating with our sim story. I'll leave a link below. I'll try to remember to link it below because I don't think I link it in every video. If you're interested in reading short stories that are they're kind of adult content, but it's cute. It's good drama. But anyway, she bought me these and I love them. I have had them in my wish list for a while because I remember when I first started seeing videos come across my recommended for gouache, and it would be these, or some type of variation of these, whether it was the Maya Himi or the RTs, I think, or I, I think there's another brand too. But anyway, first of all, I did not know that the Maya Himi gouache also came with 56 colors. Like, I thought you just had to get the other palette if you wanted the more pastel colors. So that's on the wish list now too. Even though I have these, so I technically don't need another set right now. I'm good because these are nice size cups. And I can mix a pastel color if I want one. But, I'm an art whore. Okay? Listen, I'm never mad at having extra art supplies. I watched quite a few videos on this set of a gouache, and I would say 98% of the reviews were good, even from people who use um professional gouache like Hobian or Hobine. Is it Hobian or Hobine? Anyway, I've never tried those. I kind of don't want to use designer gouache because I feel like that's just another thing that I'll be just like hooked on and all of that. I have used inexpensive gouache in the past and have done different light fast tests with things that I've kept for my personal use or personal collection, and I've had them in where direct sunlight hits them, and they still look good. They still look as good as they did the first day I created them. So, but I also do spray my watercolors and my gouache with a matte fixative when I'm done. So I don't know if that helps, but that's what I do. I just feel like I needed another layer of protection, especially since sometimes I'm painting and using that medium on wood, so it doesn't really technically go in a behind a glass frame like paper would. So yeah, but I love them so far. They are so creamy and juicy and very, very opaque. I love them. I love how you can still thin them down and get the watercolor effect if you want to. Although I really haven't done much of that. I did in a video later on that I'll have to edit, do a more layered method, like a kind of like how I would do when I use oil paints, and that was really fun. Tedious but fun. I definitely want to try that for a different style of painting, something that's along the lines of something that I would do maybe for portraiture or something like that. I definitely want to try it for that type of technique for that type of work. But for the landscapes and the this new style that I'm kind of doing where I do that I find when I do digital work, it's very flat, not a lot of value, not a lot of shading. Um, I don't know what to call it though, but it's fun. And in some future videos, you'll see me do some landscapes like that, where it's very whimsical, somewhat surreal, but kind of throwback to like mid-century modern, or is it mid-century modern? Or is it like Miami Vice 80s? I think I'll let y'all be the judge, but it's not this video. But I'm just saying all this to say I'm having so much fun with these paints. I have not put them away. They sit on my desk and I make sure that I'm ready to use them at moment's notice whenever inspiration hits. There's water already sitting out, my brushes, my palette. I notice a lot of people use the lid or the palette that comes with the larger ones like this one. You get a little bit of a larger palette, but the palettes are plastic. And me personally, the lid, I just snap it to the bottom since it does snap to the bottom. And to kind of keep my workspace, oh my gosh, the peel. I love the peel. It's so satisfying to get those crisp, sharp edges. And I love it. I think everyone does though. People who don't even paint can appreciate a good peel porn. What was I saying? I use a porcelain palette. I have that porcelain flower dish that a lot of people use for mixing watercolors, and I also just have a porcelain plate that I bought from the dollar store that I also use to mix my watercolors and my gouache on. I do have another gouache palette where I have maybe about 30 colors, and that palette is completely dry. I just re-wet it when I'm ready to use it, and it has a lot more, I guess you could say, a lot more neutrals and natural colors, like earthy colors. And so I may pull that out sometimes. But that one is like my portable palette. This one I definitely don't think I would be taking or traveling with. Not like, I don't know. I just don't think I would. Because I do try to keep it wet. I know that they can dry out, and I noticed that they start getting a little bit dry after I've been streaming for a long time. And I just kind of mist them with a fine mist water bottle spray, and that just reactivates them right back up. And then right before I close the palette, I stir them up with a little chopstick or orange wood stick, and spray them again and close the palette so that they're ready to go when I start on them again. Now, when I get back into using my oils, and I get into a phase where I just want to use a certain medium, I'm okay if they dry out. I know that they're only going to dry out on the surface. The underneath they'll still be nice and wet, so it's not a big deal to me. That was a warm up that I did, that landscape, although it was, a pretty nice painting, and it is available for purchase, and I will have prints of it available as well, hopefully by the time this video goes up. And I'm looking for some inspiration, so I'm flipping through some of my old art, and I also have some new people in the chat, so I showed them a few of my paintings. Excuse me. So with the box, I still had no idea what I wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted something surreal. At first I was thinking a landscape, but I decided, nah, I don't want to do a landscape one here. I want to do something surreal, especially looking at my art. I was like, I'm going to do a half face something situation. And I wanted to bring the wood grain forward that also the box displayed. Even though it wasn't a really good grainy piece like some of the birchwood boxes or birchwood panels, I still, I still worked with what I saw and then improvised where I needed to. And it worked out great. I did not finish this box on stream. I think that I got to the point where I was at the 6 hour mark as far as filming or streaming. And it was just like my body, after a certain period of time, even if I do get up in between, and take a little break and go to the bathroom and get some more water, hydrate, think about my posture, stretch my legs. Still, I don't see how people can do these marathon streams where they're like 8 hours in or 24 hours in. Maybe it's because I'm not a gamer. I mean, I am, but I don't game and stream. So, and even still, usually when I'm playing my game, I've not streamed, like I said. So I get up, I cook dinner, I go to the bathroom, I get on social media for a while. Game is still running and going and maybe paused, and I do other stuff. So I don't know how people can do that 8 hours and they're painting. Maybe, if you're a full time streamer, you would do that. Anyway, typically, here I am talking about another painting. I think we were talking about politics or something, and I was saying how I do sometimes do political paintings. But I chose this skin color. I typically gravitate towards darker, deeper skin tones, like my own or darker. But I hadn't done anything a little bit lighter in a while. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with a lighter shade, something a little bit more on the like tan, I guess you could say, spectrum. And I had so much fun with doing her makeup because the last few paintings that I've done where I've done a face, I wanted them to look kind of like they were relaxing at home and just kind of just chilling. So their makeup was very neutral and natural looking, even though I might have still did maybe some elaborate lashes because I just love doing that. But as far as colors, they weren't like bold colors. So I had a lot of fun painting her face and doing the makeup. And when I paint faces, I tend to paint them the same way I do makeup. I don't know if everyone does that. I have to kind of look and pay attention to that particular detail when I watch people paint in the future. But that's the thing, a lot of people don't always paint, you know, they paint a lot of times. What I've seen lately, portraiture, they paint people who look like they don't have any makeup on, you know, like they're just fresh face. But I'm still going to pay attention. And I know a lot of times people are painting and depicting an actual portrait, not just something from their imagination. So they may be actually trying to capture certain light renders from wherever the light direction is coming from and things like that. So over here, where she doesn't have an eye, I was debating on whether I wanted a 3D piece, a little 3D action to this box, but I decided to just paint it directly onto the box. And of course, a beautiful monarch butterfly. I mean, it's just such a pretty butterfly. And I know I could have probably come up with something a little bit more colorful, but I really like the monarch. And so I went with that. um, like I said, don't finish this stream. Here you can see I'm taking a break. I'm stretching my legs. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm getting some more water. But I'm going to talk anyway. I didn't cut it out because it doesn't take long. What was I going to say? Oh, I don't finish this on the stream. And I really had intentions on turning on the camera to finish it. I mean, to record the finished part, and got so caught up in this. I finally watched one of the Ghibli studio films, and it was so funny because my son walked in. What do you know about this? But it's a really good movie, and so I ended up watching another one because the first one I watched was Inoku's Inn, and then I watched Spirited Away. And oh man, so much inspiration there. Now I see why people like to paint scenes from those different movies. So much inspiration. But I want to be able to figure out how to incorporate the inspiration I got from those films in my style. That's the thing about being inspired. I don't actually want to just copy someone's work. I want to do my own rendition of it, you know? So, yeah, I was watching that and then just didn't even think, oh, I was like halfway through it, like, dang, I didn't turn on the camera. So, yeah, you don't see me. I do paint a chrysanthemum over on the other side of the piece. And I went ahead and painted the sides of the box a really pretty blue, and I painted the hexagons that you will see me draw on here. I used gold leaf, liquid gold leaf, to paint those. Even though my mom bought me some more. I think I talked about it in a couple of videos ago about how I was almost out of my favorite gold oil paint, and how the one that I bought was too yellow, and I really wasn't in love with it. But my favorite one was the pale gold, and how it was $20 too. And she had already was going to get it for me. So when she saw that video, or maybe she saw the video and decided that's what she would get me. And then when she saw it on my wish list, she was like, "Oh, perfect," you know. So I got that too. I love getting, that's the one time I don't mind. You cannot go wrong buying me art supplies for my birthday, for Mother's Day, for any holiday. You cannot go wrong. I know some people say, I don't want to, when people get like household things, items for their birthday or whatever, like a housewife doesn't want to get a vacuum cleaner, or whatever, But I love getting art supplies and cooking utensils. Okay. Because those are just the two things that are like my passions, and that are like therapeutic for me. So yeah, never go wrong there. Or anything that's purple. Not anything. Let me change that. Not anything that's purple, because I have to tell myself sometimes, would you buy this if it wasn't purple? And knowing goodness well that I wouldn't, it's like, okay. I think at this point is when I realize it's kind of late. I've been streaming for, I think it was 6 hours, this particular one. So I start to wrap things up at some point. But yeah, I had a great stream. I think I'm going to start streaming more than twice a week. I think I'm going to go ahead and add another day. It is kind of intensive though. After a stream, you just want to just be like, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't see how people do it past a certain amount of hours. Anyhow, donor eyes, just I was thinking of a cut crease, but then I changed my mind and blended it out. So I started to paint some clouds. Because I don't paint hair on her. So she's kind of like a head in the clouds type thing. And the hexagons, of course, are something that have really been showing up a lot in my work. It has my meaning to it, but I kind of like to get other people's interpretation of what they see. And then I say mine. I don't want to jade their interpretation. So whatever you think this piece means to you, leave a comment down below and let me know. Also, if you're not following me on Twitch, you definitely should. I'm there for sure every Wednesday and every Friday, unless something comes up. But for the most part, that at Clockwork every Wednesday, every Friday. I stream for 5 hours. I'm there from 7 p.m. to 12 midnight. Sometimes if I kind of want to just keep going, I'll keep going. But for the most part, I end it at the 5-hour mark. Here you see me painting the clouds. And so all of the information is down below. My Patreon page is also active. I mentioned that before, I think in my birthday video. And follow me on Instagram. And yeah, just, chat with me. Commissions are open. If you're interested in a custom box or just a custom painting in general, all of that's open. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me again and watching my videos and all of that stuff. Make sure you remember to like. And if you're not already subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Grace and peace, guys. Have a good one. Bye.